Alright, peace world, what's going on? Welcome to another interview. My name is Yafeth, aka YGT Records. I got another great pair of guests with me today. I got Ethemadassassin and Seven the Panther. What's going on, guys?
What's good, Yafeth?
Man. It was good with it.
I love that name, man.
I appreciate it, man. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
You guys feeling good today?
That's your birthday?
Yeah, it's
my
birthday. Yeah, it's my birthday. YGT is just my initials. My full name is Yafeth Girmai Tesfaye. That's my full name.
Oh,
so, yeah.
Okay, dope. You know it was a famous actor named Yafet Kodo. That's what made me think of it.
Yeah,
no yeah.
People either think of him or they think of one of Noah's sons from the Bible. You know, Japhet and then Ham and Shem. Yeah.
True that.
Yeah. Okay.
So first when I heard it, yeah, that's what I thought. I saw the name. I was like, oh man, that's crazy. Okay.
That's what's up. But yeah, man, you are you guys feeling good today? You guys feeling straight?
Feeling great. How about yourself?
I'm feeling pretty awesome, man. Y'all are here now, so I got nothing to complain about, you know.
every day above ground is good, bro. Like, you feel me? Like, no matter what happened, every day above ground is good.
Time for celebration.
What'd you guys get into today?
Oh man,
I bullshitted most of the day, man. I watched the Drink Champs episode with Shaheen.
I still gotta watch that.
So it was dope, man. It's really dope. He has a very interesting history. Other than that, man, just been running errands, man, just doing typical Saturday shit.
Cool.
And I was I went to a little Q&A with mayoral candidates for Tacoma. Just left from there, about to head to the crib, and I probably got some writing to do. I got an album to put out in December, and I gotta get it done. So.
Oh man, you're running out of time fast.
Yeah, no doubt. So I mean, I only got like 3 or 4 joints more to go, so it shouldn't be no thing. I could probably do all of them in one session.
Yeah, hurry up, Stanley.
Stanley, the people waiting, Stanley.
They're waiting, man. What the fuck is you doing?
Yo, but thanks to Claudia Newton, they really wait. So yo, I'm happy. They like, hey, what's coming next, brother?
Yeah, man. Yeah, this album did some things for us, man. Like, definitely did something for me. I got some interesting people I'm about to work with. So
oh, there you go. I mean, it's a dope album. I've been liking it a lot. So
thank you.
I can honestly say that it probably did more. It's probably done more for E than it's done for me, but it's definitely done some. But
think so?
Yeah, I mean, and I can tell you why I say that, but we can get into that later. I know y'all think that's.
Oh, my bad, man. Hey, Yafet, we'll take over your interview, so you better start asking questions.
Yeah.
Oh man. Well, I wanna ask you, E, and of course you too, Seven. But E, I'll start with you. Where are you from originally?
North Carolina, man. That's what we holding it at.
From the NC for both of y'all? You 2-7? Oh shoot.
Yeah,
so
that's what we repping, no doubt.
Yeah. So like how long have you two known each other?
Probably known each other for I don't know, man. Looking at
maybe 2 decades.
2 decades.
2 decades and some change.
Yeah.
Running up on Riley.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
So then how did y'all like relationship grow?
I mean, we both in the area that we you know, especially when we met each other when we both in college or around that time, you know what I'm saying? So like we ran in a lot of the same circles, even though we didn't know each other. You know what I'm saying? So we have a lot of mutual acquaintances. And just so happens that we finally met each other like in person. We actually were battling each other at 102 Jams, which was the number one hip hop radio station out there at the time. They had, you know, nightly battles on the radio, and you know, he had won a ton of them. I had won a ton of them. A couple other people had won some, so they wanted to have one big event to let the battle like play itself out, just to get like a grand champion, so to speak. And so we was there, we was doing our thing. I ain't even gonna say who won. I'm just saying it was a real dope experience.
No, it's all good. 7-1. So good. Like
I was gonna ask.
7-1. I mean, I'm like that. I say it 7-1, but I say this though, like, you know what I'm saying? There was a tight fucking vote. Like it took 3 different votes to decide.
Oh, for real?
Absolutely, it was super tight.
There you go.
So I mean, and we just from there, like I said, we had a lot of mutual acquaintances. So from there, it just kind of grew. And at first, it was just kind of like whenever we saw each other, it was all love. We say, "Yo, what up, E? What up, Steph?" And, you know, over time, just as men that progressed, not even on the music level necessarily, but just as men, because this is literally the first time we've actually been together this project. So like, so we just kind of as homies, and then he moved out here probably You've been in LA what, 10 years, 15 years now? So he moved out
Right
here
up on
probably like
10.
10 years. Yeah, he probably moved out here about 9 years before I did. I only been in Washington for like 5 years. So like he moved out here, and I moved out here, and when I moved out here, I happened to go on tour like right when I moved out here. And we went to LA, so I linked back up with E there, and then like it's been on the private since then.
Dope. So you said that this was the first time y'all worked together on an album, correct?
Yeah.
First time working together on music.
After almost 2 decades. Sheesh. So
Yeah.
what made y'all decide to finally like get it going?
Man, seven. I mean, like I said, we would talk all the time, and we would throw ideas back and forth. They might be hit or miss or whatever, but he fucks around and he calls me one day. He like, yo, I got this beat from Drugs Beats. You want to get on it? I'm like, shit, let me hear it. He throws it over. I'm like, this shit dope. So we finally finished the song. But after the song was done, we was like, yo, man, it'd be stupid then I do more music. So
right.
I was like, well, shit, why don't we do an album? And so I started looking through producers, and my man out of Poland, Slide Beats, he was open to work, you know what I mean? So and I knew about him for producing for XP the Marksman and like Hane from BSF and cats like that. So I just hit him up, like, look, man, I want to do an album with somebody. He's like, all right, cool. So he started throwing me beats. I'm like, yo, but it's with this guy. So I let him hit 7. He's like, oh yeah, I'm all for it. So he threw us a pack of like 150 beats. Then he threw another pack of like 200 beats.
Damn.
Then he threw like another pack of 100 beats, like no bullshit. And it all was dope. And we picked and plucked. Yeah, we picked and plucked. And 7 flew down like 2 or 3 times, and in between all of that, we're making songs and recording and videos, and boom, Carter and Newton.
Damn. So was music like always the plan for you, E? Did you always know you was gonna be an artist?
Yeah. I've been wanting to do this since I got my first tape, my first Run DMC Raise the Hell tape. That's what I wanted to do. Same
for you, 7? You always knew you want to be an artist?
Nah, not really. I mean, I wanted to rap, so I didn't know that I wanted to do it professionally, so to speak. But I mean, the first time I heard Follow the Leader, I was stuck, you know what I'm saying? It wasn't until I heard Illmatic that I kind of made the decision that that's what I wanted to do. Otherwise, I actually wanted to be a profiler for the FBI and catch serial killers. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that's what I used to want to be when I was young. So. But I wanted to be a profiler. I didn't necessarily know profilers work for the FBI until I got older. So then when I found that out, I was like, yes, I can bet.
Cool.
With the FBI. So like
cool. Well, earlier you guys were complimenting me on how you like my name, but I think you guys got some pretty cool names too. I'm really curious where E the Mad Assassin comes from.
I got it in college, man. There used to be a lot of ciphers on campus, and I always been a kind of guy who I always been doing my own kind of thing. So like I always rap, but Castro had the ciphers, and I wouldn't join in because I didn't know them dudes. You know what I'm saying? So it just so happened I got cool with a guy who used to head the ciphers up, named One Son Lion, Raiz. And he so I started getting comfortable. Like they would do this shit like I go to class and these motherfuckers would be in the ciphers from 9 in the morning to 9 at night. I'm like, I don't understand how the fuck you niggas is here all day doing this shit. So I would jump in and I would spit a verse, might listen a little bit, but then I'd be out. And still nobody really knew me, but I would always come and just drop a verse and motherfuckers like, oh shit, going crazy. So I got into a convo one day with Rod, and he was like, yo, man, you always coming through on some assassin shit. It's like you shoot one bullet and then you be out. You kill it and you're gone.
That's dope.
So that's where Assassin came from. But he called, he threw the mad in there just to fuck with me because, like, that was the stone face era. So I just never smiled at motherfuckers. So with all of this shit, you know what I mean? Back in those days with a little bit less weight in my face, I resembled Fredro and Sticky Fingers at the same time. So people would always call me Mad. So Mad Assassin just happened. It was just, either, and I just threw it all together.
Oh, cool.
Sticky Star.
And I kept
that's a pretty cool story though, actually. What about you, 7? How'd that name come about?
Oh man. Well, my name used to be Apocalypse the Mob, but like that's a lot to say. But my alias was the 7 sign because Apocalypse, of course, the whole 7 sign thing. It was all tied into the whole biblical shit, which is why that's the first thing that came in my mind when I saw your name. So after I left the group I was in, I wanted to change my name just to give myself some space. And 7 sign, I like 7. That's my favorite number. Always has been. So I wanted to keep 7, and I was just gonna be 7. And I went to trademark the name, and it was already trademarked. So I wanted to add something to it that was representative of not only myself, but like my family lineage, because my father was a Black Panther. And most of the ideology that I've been taught throughout my life comes from the Black Panther Party. So Seven the Panther just made sense. And then it didn't hurt that I was in North Carolina and the football team in Carolina is the Panthers. So, you know what I'm saying? It all tied together.
All works out. Damn. That's interesting too. You said your father was in the Black Panther Party, because even on the cover of you guys' album, you're wearing, I believe, a Black Panther hoodie, correct?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Right. So then, yeah, like the whole thing like runs pretty deep, and it's definitely rub off on you as well, right?
I mean, you can say that. Say that. I mean, I'm currently the Minister of Defense of the Black Panther Party of Washington. So, like, yeah, it rubbed off. It stuck. It stuck. I can say that for sure.
So when people, at least for me, when I saw your guys' album, you know, Carter and Newton, the Field Report, it definitely reminds me of a very dope album that came out back in '97, right? So I'm kind of curious, you know, what does the name Capone and Noriega mean to you guys?
And that was theme music for me.
Thanks.
You know what I mean? Like back in those days, like when that shit came out, you know, we hop in the whip and whatever we was going to do, that shit was playing. You know, whether or not we was going on a mission or if we going to a party or whatever we was doing, like that shit was blasted. You know what I'm saying? So it's, you know, so it's a part of my young adulthood.
Would you say that album had a strong like influence on like your rhyming ability at all? Like did it influence you in any way?
Actually, no.
Did not.
No, not at all. Not at all. And that's, you know, not a slight to them, but that's just, I kind of always knew who I was as an MC.
Oh.
So, you know, just listening to that, like, you know, I listen to music that kind of just vibrates with what I'm into. You know what I mean? So like that CNN was just perfect. Like along with the, you know, the Mobb Deeps and the Natures and the Royal Flushes and all of the cast of that era, you know, like that.
Right.
It just made sense. Like I said, like anything we do, I don't care if we was motherfucking cleaning the house. You know how like back in the day, people like your mom throwing soul music, we throwing on CNN. You know, so it's not necessarily an influence, but it's just a big part of my life, you know.
Okay. So like you said, you like they didn't have influence, like no artists at all had like an influence on you?
You said it's me or Seven?
I mean,
for you.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
No, I'm definitely influenced by some artists. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying like CNN didn't on that. Like honestly, man, like so just to go ahead and give you the story.
Mm-hmm.
The only reason why we have that cover like that is because we recorded the whole album. It didn't have no title. We didn't have a title. We didn't have the names of the songs. Like I operate that way. Like I'm backwards. Like I make the music, and then when it's time to start releasing it, everything, then I give it the titles and I figure out that type of shit. So Seven is a lot more calculated. So he kind of let me be a little loose with this. And when it was done, I just kind of played into our aliases. And I was just sitting there high. Actually, we was on the phone when it happened. And I was sitting there high and I was like, yo, man, you know what? I was like, yo, Carter and Newton is CNN. He like, huh? I'm like, you bunchy Carter. My last album was Graham Newton, CNN, Carter and Newton. Let's see if we could get a cover made. 15 minutes later, I hit Substance 810. He took care of that and it was like, boom, like that quick. You know, so it's really just a cover flip. It's a tribute to the cover, but the music is totally different.
Right.
We're not trying to recreate or make you think of them when you hear the music. It's just the album cover, just dope. That's all.
That's true. That's true. Because when I was listening to it, I didn't feel that way at all. It was just the album art. So yeah, for sure. But go ahead, Seven.
Now I was just saying, despite whatever a person, you know what I'm saying, because everybody got their opinions about music, but despite whatever a person's opinion might be about, you know, Capone and Noriega as far as the lyrical ability or whatever the case, that album was undeniably, if you came up in the 90s and you like that raw stuff, like you undeniably was affected by that album in some way, shape, form, or fashion. So I mean, like, yeah, it's a cover flip, and it's kind of like a shout out to say, yo, your album cover was dope, but also it's kind of like us saying, hey, we're not trying to recreate your album, but we want you to know that this album was an important part of our hip hop journey. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, it's basically just a shout out, and yeah, the music is totally different, like totally different, totally.
Yeah.
So for you, Seven, since you know you grew up probably a little bit different than maybe some other people because you had that Black Panther presence in your family. I'm curious if that had like any kind of like effect on how you heard music or even the kind of artists you wanted to hear.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it did, but at the same time, it like I was just like any other kid. Like you grow up hearing all of that, and it's cool, and you walk by it as long as you're able to. But like I ain't gonna lie to you, I jumped off the porch at like 10 years old, 19 years old. So like by the time I did that, it was kind of like I still got it in the back of my mind. But whereas before I was only listening to like PE and X Clan and Poor Righteous Teachers and all that, now I'm listening to NWA and Hostile and all of this like murder music. You know what I'm saying? So like the influence, the reality is though, with the teaching that I was given as a kid, when I started realizing that these two different kinds of music that I'm listening to aren't really that far apart. They just seem that far apart because of the perception that people have. Public Enemy is not that different from NWA. It just seems that way because NWA curses so much, and the imagery sometimes is a little more brutal. But the reality is, all of that music is quote unquote conscious music because they're showing an awareness of their surroundings and what's happening with them. So like, I always been into conscious music, even when I didn't think I was.
Dope. That's dope.
Yeah, come on.
So now, oh shoot, we got a special guest. What's going on?
No. Somebody just gotta walk in the house. That's all.
Oh, okay, cool. So when it came to the album, man, like there's a lot of quotables in this album, right? For me, one of my favorite songs is the track "A Better Day," right? When I heard this song, there's one line in here. Forgive me, I forget who says it, but there's one line where he says, "I apologize for this vibe. I was traumatized, often was living lies, even ostracized." And that track reminded me of the one previous to it, "Push the Line," where you guys are just like talking about the life you used to live, what it did to you. You know what I'm saying, and just kind of how you have to live with that. I would love to hear some more backstory on "A Better Day" and also "Push the Line."
Well, shout out to Tater Crown. That's his verse you quoting right there. Tater Crown. That's E people. I mean, me. The funny thing about that is that's E Man's. But me and him was already connecting on social media. But like how social media algorithms is all stupid. So I'm like, I never see this guy's post. Then he records the verse. He sends me the verse, and I hear the verse. I'm like, yo, that's dope. And all of a sudden, like the next few days, Tater Crown starts popping up in my algorithm on Facebook, and I'm like, oh, this is crazy. And I hit him and was like, yo, son, you smoked that verse, yo. So but yeah, I mean, really, the building of that record was really more on E. So I'm gonna let him take that.
Man, I forgot most of it. Honestly, I mean, because I make music like that. Like a lot of times I just like whatever. So I put it like this. I heard that beat and I was like, I knew we needed something with that kind of sound on the album because everything was just hard or dark. You know what I'm saying? Or the super street. So I'm like, I want to have something that's reflective. You know what I mean? So that we all grown men with adult thoughts and we realize what we've been through and we realize where we're going. You know what I mean? So
right.
It's really just analyzing the average day of somebody who is quote unquote outside. You know what I'm saying? Like what you're thinking about, like everything you're doing is to get a better day. So I heard that track, I started scribbling on the verse, and like Seven said, Tay is a friend of mine. You know what I'm saying? Like I know him through another cat from out of the borough named OG Bobby Negro, who moved to Phoenix, and that's how I met Tay, because Tay is from Phoenix. So I know his voice and I know the kind of music he makes. When I heard that, I was like, I think Tay will be perfect. So I get the verse from Tay and Seven tied it up. You know what I'm saying? And it was that. That's simple. Oh yeah. And I got Seven to sing that hook.
Oh, that's you for real?
Yeah, that's
dope. Hey, you don't sound too bad, man.
I mean, like just low key, I used to sing in the choir. So like singing in that key was kind of weird for me. So I mean, you might actually hear me do some singing on my album too, just for the record. But sometimes I put it under alias so people don't know it's me. But yeah, I definitely get it.
Also, the last track, Greatness, like I love that as the last track, like the energy in there, just what y'all talking about. For me, one of my favorites in there as well. But like I'm sure you two probably feel this way about everything you make. You probably always feel like you really nailed it. I'm curious, like whether it's this album or maybe even something else you made. Do you think this? I'll throw it to you first, E. Do you think you have anything that you've made where you're like this represents me? Like I really killed this one. You know what I'm saying?
Actually, I think all of it does.
All of it does.
All of it does. Like all of it is a piece of me in some form or fashion. Like anything you heard me spit, I wrote, and it's based on my life. So like quality wise, I feel like everything stepped up. Like I think this album is the best album I've worked on. if you ask me that for every album I make, 9 times out of 10, if it's the last one I just made, that's how I feel. But like, that's just what it is for me, man. Like, just make sure I keep it authentic to myself, and the people that I came up around, and it's gonna always be that. So like the thing for me is I don't really get married to the music either. Like I don't have like that personal feeling like, oh man, oh you don't like this other. I don't like, what I'm saying? I make it for me. I hope you like it. If you like it enough to buy it, cool. You know what I'm saying? But other than that, I just keep pushing.
Cause like even when I brought up, I'm gonna get to you 2-7, but I just want to ask him this real fast. Like you that last line that I quoted from that other track, you said you forgot. Now I'm just curious. I'm asking like when you're in that mode, are you just creating it and then you just keep it pushing and then like that's it? Like is that how it kind of goes for you?
For me, yeah, because like I rarely walk into any song situation knowing what the song is going to be about. Like 9 times out of 10, the beat is going to tell me what to do. That's it. So like that's why like a lot of like backstories on songs, they just kind of be hazy for me because I hear the beat, and if I can't start thinking of bars within 10 or 15 seconds, well, first of all, let me say this. First, as soon as I hear the beat, I try to imagine hearing it in a show and how it's going to hit me. And then I try to figure out where the rhymes are going. If nothing comes out, push it to the side. Now, if I don't feel like it's going to be the type of beat that's going to ring out at a show, okay, let me see if it's a more substantial type of song, you know what I mean? And that's what, to me, a better day is. So, again, once I heard the beat, I just kind of just started floating the bars out. And it was like, okay, yeah, like, so probably by like the 4th or 5th bar, I'm like, yeah, Tay would be good on this. And that's that. Because I'm really into songwriting and creating like that, you know what I mean? Like, I've been fortunate enough to write some songs that have been on some TV shows and some movies. So I look more at this stage of my life, using my talent in that aspect, like get to the money. You know what I'm saying? It's not always just about expressing myself. So I don't get married to anything.
That's dope, man. That's dope.
Yeah.
7, like do you have anything you've made in this album or a previous piece of work that you feel represents 7 the Panther?
I'm gonna be honest, like that my answer is somewhat similar. However, there is a particular project. I can't necessarily say it's my favorite project, but I will say that if a person wanted to know who I was, all they have to do is listen to that. And everything prior to that and everything after that is represented on that project. And I released it in like 2010. It's called Born with Less. But like that particular project was me taking my life, because okay, just to be honest, I'm a rapper. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, he'll tell you, I'm a rapper. Like, my objective every time I get in the booth is to absolutely destroy whatever's in there with me. Even if I'm doing a song by myself, I want to beat the wheels off the beat. I want to make the engineer get up and walk out his seat and be like, damn, I can't believe he just said that. Like, that's just the way I am. You know, I've always been like that. So for me, Born with Less was my first time saying, you know what? I don't want to just out-rap everybody. Like, I really need to tell my story. So the whole project is basically me breaking down a day in my life and how I address certain situations. And ever since I did that and I saw how it came out, everything after that has been more personal, more of me as opposed to just being lyrical. You know what I'm saying? So that was something I had to learn. And then even as far as the part of, like he said, get to the money, like that's something I've learned from him. You know what I'm saying? Because he's had to tell me a couple of times, bro, you don't have to always out rap a nigga. Like sometimes you just got to make a dope song. And there's a couple of instances on this particular album where I rewrote a verse after I had already written it specifically for that reason. Because I was like, yeah, this verse is really dope and the bars are like crazy. But at the end of the day, I can say it this way and it's going to make the song sound better. And it worked. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, Born with Less is probably the album that best represents me, but this is definitely the best project that I've worked on.
Right on.
Well, you want the songs to stick.
Yeah.
You want them to stick, like for some kind of reason, whether it be like, you know what I mean, you heard it during an important time of your life, or like something within the song just resonates with you in some form or fashion. People don't really get that 9 times out of 10 when you really just barring them to death. You know what I'm saying? So because at the same time, I come from that. Like I said, I met 7 battling, so like I know exactly what the fuck he's thinking and what he's feeling. You know what I'm saying? But I've been in some different situations. You know what I'm saying? Where I got that understanding and I started implementing it, you know, a little earlier. You know what I mean? So yeah, so like even if you listen to all my albums, I'm trying to give a complete song each time. you know, even if the subject matter is just street oriented, I'm still trying to, you know, give a beginning, middle, and end, and make sure that hook is something that you feel. You know what I'm saying? So,
right.
Because at the end of the day, we're not rapping for rappers, and it's really just rappers who appreciate that shit to the extent of what it took for us to put into it. You know what I'm saying? But you know, the average fan, they just want to wear your shirt, play your music, get high to it. You know what I mean, and move on. So
You guys both kind of answered it, but I'll just ask anyways, and I'll start with you seven. Is there like was there ever an objective when you go into that booth?
Early on, my objective in the booth was to be the best rapper alive. Period. And it was never any other motivation for me. It wasn't about the money. It wasn't about fans. It wasn't about girls. It was never about none of that. From the first time.
Uh-oh.
Oh no! Oh no!
Oh no! He about to spit some knowledge. We dropped him.
Oh no!
All right. Well, if he comes back, we can just ask him again. But yeah, even you kind of already answered it. But if you want to just elaborate a bit more. Oh, never mind. There he is.
All right,
there you go. You back.
All right, no doubt. Yeah, but I was in a group, and I was actually the DJ for the group. And it was another crew that we had, had a little neighborhood beef with or whatever. And when we battled them at this talent show at the rec center, their DJ spit a verse. So everybody was like, "Well, damn, he spit a verse. Your turn." And I was like, "Man, I don't rap." So I went home that night, and I'm listening to the radio, and I'm dating myself with this, but I don't give a fuck. Eric B. as president came on, and I was like, "Oh shit!" Like hearing Rakim for the first time, I was like, "What is this?" I was like, "Yo, I can do that." So I caught it late, but I recorded most of the song.
I didn't know. Like I was just.
Yeah, that was it. I mean, but like, I was like, I can't do it like that right now. But hearing him do this, I think I can do it. You know. And then I found out he was from Long Island, and I was like, oh, that's crazy. So I'm listening. So I recorded like probably half of the song. So I listened back to that half of the song over and over and over, and I wrote my first verse. The next time we battled that crew, which was like 2 weeks later, we was doing our little routine, and I spit my verse. After the thing, we won. After the thing, everybody was like, "Hey man, you should probably sell your turntables. You rap way better than DJ." So I sold all my DJ equipment, and it ain't been nothing but in the past since then. So that's my objective at that point was just to be the greatest. But like as time has progressed, I realized that I don't feel like there's ever gonna be a greatest. You know what I'm saying? It's always going to change over time because people evolve and hip hop evolves. So as hip hop evolves, you got to evolve too. And now I'm to the point where my objective now is simply to make the best record I could possibly make and hope that people resonate with it when they hear it.
Right. Well, you said Seven, you about to date yourself about when you heard Eric B and Rakim. I think I'm gonna date myself too a bit. This might make you laugh. The first time I ever heard Rakim was in 2013. It's the first time I ever heard him.
What did you hear?
What did you hear?
I heard Eric B is for president.
What'd you think?
I loved it.
In 2013?
In 2013. Like this is like one song 2013, I was a freshman in college. For whatever reason, I'm just going through all of the old stuff. I'm listening to Eric B. I'm listening to, Tribe, even though Tribe's like in the 90s and all that. But I was just kind of taking a deeper dive. That was the first time I ever heard Rakim. I was hooked. I loved it. And I just wanted to hear more of it.
Dope.
Yeah.
Dope.
Rod that dude. He's my favorite rapper of all time.
My first time hearing Rod was My Melody.
My Melody?
And I lost it.
Bro.
Like, yo. I mean, because, Cass is still young. We dancing and then, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, I can't dance to this. It's too slow. Like, what the fuck he say? You know what I mean? Like, so back then it was like, you had to wait once a week for the hip hop to come on the radio. So I heard that shit, click, record, like, that was one of my ones. I actually had the version where he cursed on it.
Oh, word.
Oh, wow. Okay.
I didn't get it off the radio though, but yeah. I got
I'm gonna go ahead and throw it to you, E. Like, what's your objective when you're in that booth?
Yo, listen, like, see, that's why I said I could identify with Seven. When I first started out, that was it. I gotta show the world I'm the best. Like I feel like, like even starting at 12, 13 years old, it's like, okay, I know I got a mountain to climb. But when I get there, I'm gonna get there and I'm gonna show motherfucker. So like when I first started getting in the booth, so like shit, maybe like my first 2 albums solo, like I was trying to prove that. But like Seven said, like, you know, like I'm still fans of Cat, so it's obvious that there can't be no best. You know, so pretty soon I like through my musical journey, like knowing where I wanted to be, I started interning at record labels, and I interned at that same radio station that we had that battle on a couple years before that. You know what I'm saying? And I just learned songwriting and what it's really about. And so from there, I was like, you know what, I'm not even worried about getting in the booth and showing you that I'm the best at this. It's okay. I think it's a perfect example. Fuck with shit, what's my man? A man from Washington, basketball player. Why can't I think of his name? I'm drawing a blank. A man with the handles. Fucking God damn it.
Washington?
Huh?
For the Wizards?
I mean, he's from Washington, like from Washington State. He played all over the fucking league.
Come on, Isaiah Thomas?
Nah,
Jamal Crawford. Yeah, Jamal Crawford.
I was about to say Jamal Tinsley. Oh. Jamal Crawford. Like, you know, he came up playing like that. So even when you put him in the league, he's not necessarily out to prove that he's better by doing all that shit. That's just how he plays.
Oh, right.
You know what I'm saying? So like in Seven case and in mine, I feel like we've gotten so accustomed to playing like that when we go on the court to just do what we have to do, this part comes out, that part comes out. So I feel like when I cared about trying to show you that I can come up with the illest bars, that style of bar work still comes out in the verses I write. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not trying to show you that I'm better than you. I just, you know, I'm an ill nigga. You know what I'm saying? So, so I'm just gonna be an ill nigga. You know what I mean? Like that's that.
Right.
So I just wanted to be something dope, man. You know, something like, oh damn, I never heard nobody say that, but still give you that song that you can walk away with.
True. So I wanna ask this to you, Seven. So actually it's really for both of y'all, but I'll start with you. So you guys definitely come from a different era. You know, a lot would call the golden era of hip hop. I'm curious too about the whole new school versus old school thing. I'm sure you guys have your own top 5, top 10, whatever it is. Do you guys ever feel some kind of way if maybe you hear a younger dude, no disrespect to Drake, but like if they say, oh, Drake's the greatest rapper ever, like do you guys ever feel kind of off by that?
Nah, I don't, because in their timeline, he is to them. You know what I'm saying? Like, the stuff that means something to me don't mean nothing to them. Like, I personally feel like if I find out you could be my favorite rapper in the whole world, but if I find out somebody wrote 6 lines in your song, that just knocks you off the pedestal, and now you sitting at the bottom of the rung with everybody else. I still appreciate your songs, but I just know it ain't completely you doing. You know what I'm saying? And he always tells me, you know what I'm saying, I hold on to codes that motherfuckers in the business that gave us these codes don't even listen. They don't even adhere to the shit.
Right.
But I mean, at the end of the day, I feel like every generation is gonna have a top 5, a top 10. I don't expect a cat that was born, like it's 2021 right now. I don't expect a 21-year-old that was born in the year 2000 to feel like Rakim's the greatest rapper alive. I don't even feel like them. I don't even expect them to think Nas or even Jay-Z is the greatest rapper alive. Somebody, either Drake, Kendrick Lamar, J. Cole, somebody like that is going to be their favorite rapper. Is going to be the greatest rapper in the world to them. And the thing that I think people from our era don't get is that just like the game evolves from when we first started listening, because the rappers I listened to in the 80s, I can't say they better than the rappers I was listening to in the 90s, because the niggas in the 90s had a chance to listen to the dudes in the 80s, learn the game, and then evolve it. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, Rakim's my favorite rapper, but at the end of the day, I can't say Nas isn't better. I can't say Jay-Z isn't better. I can't say I like Rakim better because he's my favorite. But the game evolves so much. I think we put unfair pressure on these young cats to respect what we did. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, we have to show that same respect to what they listen to. You know what I'm saying? So I'll sit around with the young heads out here and watch them listen to the shit they listen to and be like, yo, why? And I'll ask them, yo, why you like this? I'm not saying I don't like it. I just want to know why you do like it. What drew you to this music? Because if I know what drew you to that music, I know some elements that I can add to what I'm doing to draw you into what I'm doing too. Just so you pay attention. You know what I mean? And it may be you listen to my record one time and never listen to it again, but at least you listen once and you know that there's something out there that's different from what you've already been taking in that's available. So that's it.
How about you,
what
E?
he said.
He nailed
What he
it.
said.
He nailed it.
Yeah, I mean, because like how he said, like the evolution of things, you can't help it. Like even going back to the NBA, they used to shoot jump shots like this.
You know what I mean? Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and that was the way to do it until somebody figured out do it like this. You know,
That's facts.
all of that
That's
shit,
facts.
man. Like everything's evolution. So like I can't. I definitely don't get upset at it. You know what I mean? Like, and I'm not gonna say act like I'm in tune like that, but you know, like I fuck with shit. Like I fuck with all kind of music. Like I just like music. So I'm not gonna do to y'all what motherfuckers did to us.
Exactly.
And which was, oh man, you know, that shit ain't how it's supposed to be. All y'all talking about is this, ain't no knowledge, or it's too street, you know what I'm saying? All that bullshit. You know what I'm saying? Like, fuck that. You know what I mean? Like, if that's you and your expression, express it. You know what I mean? Somebody gonna think it's dope. It's not up to me to say it's not.
Right.
You know, especially if I'm not your target audience anyway.
Even with the dudes that's dying in Chicago, even with the guys that are dying, and you know, throughout that drill movement, I can't say I don't blame the music for them dying. I blame their actions away from the music is what's killing them. It ain't the music. I like some of it. You know what I'm saying? I think King Von was very talented.
I fuck with Von.
I fuck with Von heavy. I think
Bibby and
King Von
Herbo.
was.
I fuck with Bibby and Herbo and all of them things.
Yeah, you know no doubt. I was supposed to do a song with Lil Bibby one time, and some crazy shit happened, but we ain't gonna get into all that right now. But, yeah, man, I just think it's, you know, we sometimes older heads want to blame the wrong shit because they want to say, oh, well, you know, this is happening because that's all you talk about. No, it's happening because of the conditions where they live. It ain't got nothing to do with the music they talk, the music they make, and they making the music because of where they live. And their lives are being taken as a result of that. It has nothing to do with what they're rapping about. They would have this same beef with each other, and niggas would still be dying if none of these niggas could rap. So I mean, you know what I mean?
It's just fucked up though. I mean, like, cause I feel you on that, but you know, some of the motherfuckers, somebody got in their head, I'm gonna make a song about this. You know what I'm saying? Like, cause like when you listen, like they keeping the tally, they keeping the score, and they putting it in the song. I'm like, yo, man, you niggas is crazy. But again, like Seven said, this is your environment. You know, that's what they do anyway. You know what I'm saying? If they didn't rap, they'd probably be drawing that shit on the wall with a spray can.
Exactly.
You know, so you know, it is what it is, man. You know, I would like for everybody to keep your music, but you know,
right,
it's what it is.
So, any plans at all for you two touring together, performing this amazing album?
I mean, COVID. All this shit.
Gotta ask COVID, man.
You know what I'm saying? Real talk. I was about to say COVID put the brakes on a lot of stuff, man. I literally was just about to go on the road with my last solo album right before all of this shit got real crazy. You know what I'm saying? So like I had to put the brakes on that. And then now, like looking at it, and I mean there's some possibilities of a show here, show there. But as far as like a full-fledged tour, it's gonna be difficult with a lot of the mandates and stuff that are in place because I don't even mind saying it. You're not putting that shit in me, period. And that's all it is to it. But at the end of the day, like I still, you know, I take precautions. I because of my job, I have to get tested weekly anyway. I wash my hands regularly, use hand sanitizer, wear a mask, all that dumb shit. But like, and I don't mean to call it dumb shit. My apologies, but you know what I'm saying? I feel like we follow, you know, we follow the guidelines. If we getting tested and all that stuff, we should be able to get out and do what we do that we enjoy doing. But I mean, the powers that be got a whole nother plan in place, so we just got to kind of see how it shake out.
Yeah, I mean, cause like me specifically, I always try to tend to focus on like overseas so far as doing shows. So like that's definitely out of the picture right now. You know what I mean? So I mean, I actually been talking with some people trying to figure out some things, and the conversation will be like, yeah, like I heard about something in Florida, and I heard about something in Pennsylvania, and I heard about something in Arizona. I'm like, what about everything in between? You know what I'm saying? Like, and this COVID is throwing a monkey wrench and shit. But it's definitely not out of the discussion. I'll put it that way. You know, like so I'm always trying to figure out a way to get on the stage.
Right. You mentioned overseas, E. Now, I'm just curious because I really don't know, and I'm not going to mention any names, but I've heard, Seven looking at me, I've heard when some artists perform in the States, it's a lot different than when they perform overseas, as in saying there's a lot more love overseas. Have you experienced that at all?
Okay, so yes, but it's different. So it's not like they show more love. It's what they're showing love to. You know what I'm saying? here in America, like we treat music as a business type of thing first, unfortunately. Whereas over there, they tend to treat it more like the art that it is. So
Right.
so they're more receptive to what they feel is authentic hip hop. So like you have more people who support it, but it's not like it's necessarily more love than over here. Because like I mean, I could perform over here and get the same amount of crowd cheers, make the same amount of money that I make over there, but it's just different because when you go over there, like those motherfuckers will be invested in you for the rest of your life. You know, they hear you once and they like you, they fuck with you the rest of your life. Like no questions, they in your DMs, they fucking with you. You know, I had to do offer me his sister once. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yo,
I want to
seven.
like you when I grow up. Shit. I want
yeah,
to be like you when
he
I grow
offered
up.
me his sister. I'm like, damn, okay, you know, so that type of shit. So, you know, so it's just different. You know what I mean? Like, I hear it, rock the crowd. You know what I'm saying? And be dope, and they gonna fuck with you. You know, you just gotta get the opportunity to do it.
Oh yeah.
That's
So we
interesting.
working on it. We working on it though. Fuck that.
Yeah.
Like
I mean, even in
those
Canada,
first I just named. Yeah. No, go ahead.
No, I was just saying, even in Canada ain't even across the water. Like technically, it's just up the way. You know what I'm saying? But like you said, it's just something different that they're tuned in for. It ain't, you know what I'm saying? Oh, that was cool. Hey, good job. Boo. I
Right.
holler at you later. Like the people in Canada, I'm gonna tell you something that's never happened to me in my lifetime, and it happened in Canada, in Toronto, and I was like, what the fuck? Like, this is when I was still living in North Carolina. It's like we doing mad shows in NC, SC, Virginia, Maryland, all of that. But at all of them shows, like even people that know the records, it's just kind of like bobbing their head and vibing, and you know they'll cheer or whatever. But we went to Canada, man, and I swear to God, I was 6 bars into the first verse, and I just stopped rapping. You know why I stopped rapping? Because they were saying the verse for me, and I was like, "What the fuck is happening right now?" I looked at my partner, and I'm like, "Yo, son, you see this? You see this?" You know what I'm saying? Like he was like, "Bro, this is crazy, man." So like the love is definitely, and much like you said, it's not necessarily just that the love is different. It's what the love is pertaining to that's different. They love your art and they love you because you made the art and they want to support that, like always, as opposed to, oh, that was a cool performance. Next, you know what I'm saying? America is kind of like that.
Damn, that's an interesting perspective. I never heard that. I never even actually thought of that. I don't even know if you could really change that. Maybe that's just kind of the culture, just like how it is.
It's just what it is. Like they have a bigger appreciation for art anyway. Like we don't even have art in schools hardly anymore.
Right,
You know what I'm
right,
saying? Like
true.
they are brought up appreciating art, like all types of art. You know, from sculptures to paintings to music. You know, to dance, all of that shit. You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
they really, if they feel like you're authentic to the art that they think is the authentic thing, they're gonna fuck with you. You know.
So
But again, at the same time, I will say this though, like the younger people there, like they are getting into like drill and all of that shit, trap and all of that. Like you go over there, you'll hear that shit, but you'll hear it from the younger ones. But again, that's just evolution of shit. Like, you know, they're internet babies. So they're gonna, whatever they hear, whatever they see, like, you know, they watching King Von too. So they're gonna do some of that. This is gonna be in French or in Spanish or in Dutch.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It might be Swiss, like, you know, whatever, they doing it.
cool.
You know?
So outside of being dope MC, Seven, where you know about your history with the Black Panther Party, outside of the music, just like period, what do you guys like to do for fun?
Fun. What's that? No, I'm joking.
If you don't know, if you don't know what fun is, then I'm just sorry to hear that, man. You know.
Nah, I mean, like realistically for me, man, like I'm kind of a, like people would never know it, like just by being around. I'm kind of a nerd in a lot of ways. Like I spend a lot of time reading. I spend a lot of time watching documentaries. A lot of time, I don't like to be around people. A lot of times, because people do dumb shit, and when people do dumb shit, it make me do dumb shit, and I'm not trying to do no dumb shit. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, yo, I'm staying the fuck away from everybody.
Yeah.
But like, occasionally I go out, man. But like, I you won't find me in a club unless I gotta perform. I just don't do it. So most of the fun for me is watching documentaries, spending time with my kids, or reading, man. That's it.
Any documentaries or books that really moved you that you could recommend?
Oh man, I just saw what was the name of that? I just saw Oh man, hold on. Give me 2 seconds. I'll tell you the exact name of it because we had a I just got done reading Blood in My Eye, by George Jackson. And I read Soul Dad Brother recently. There is, oh God, it's a documentary we were watching about Sartre. And I can't remember the name of it off the top of my head, but it's man, I love documentaries about. Well, okay, I'm gonna keep it 100. I watch a lot of documentaries about serial killers, because despite the fact that I chose not to go that route as far as my career choice, I'm still captivated by the psychology of serial killers. So I watch a lot of stuff about that. I'm really like Ted Bundy's my guy. Like if Ted Bundy was alive, still in prison, I'd probably go visit him just to pick his brain. You know what I'm saying? Because it interests me. What makes you think it's okay to kill all these people? You know what I'm saying? With like with no conscience.
Yo, let me jump in there real quick. Last night I was watching the White Boy documentary on White Boy Rick.
Oh yeah, no doubt. Yeah, that one was dope.
And that dude Nate Boone, like,
yeah.
man, the way he talked about it, he was like, oh yeah, like if you put the money out there, like, oh, he's gonna be dead.
Yeah.
And you know, it's just hearing the psyche, like, oh, it's just business. This is just what I do. This is what I do. This is my job. I kill people. You know what I'm saying? Like
it's crazy.
It's nuts because I actually know some people in certain armed forces, and their job is to do certain things. and to just like hear it, it's like shit. You know, but then you know, Seven and I can have a conversation about certain things, and people might be like, wow, like, and it's just regular to us. You know what I'm saying?
Yes. It don't mean shit. But that's the beauty of human nature too, because realistically speaking, when me and E could be having a conversation, and you know, we from different places, but we kind of from the same place. You know what I'm saying? In a manner of speaking, we have very similar instances occur throughout the course of our lives. We just pick different paths as far as dealing with the structure of it all. I was watching a documentary called Beyond the Wire, and they're talking about the show The Wire, and like just like the characters and what went into the characters and how much of it was real, how much of it was made up. And just seeing that, knowing that I personally feel like The Wire is the best shit that ever came on TV, but just seeing a lot of the reality that went into that as a point. And I used to live in Baltimore, so I know a lot of it's real. But like, just to see that and to hear them talk in depth about it, especially with Michael K. Williams passing recently, like that was.
Pardon me. I need to switch to my phone. I'll be right back. I'm gonna duck out real quick.
Okay.
No doubt.
Pardon me. My computer's dying. I'll be right back.
No doubt. But yeah, that's like the Wire is a big. If you ever saw if you saw the cover for my next album, Shooting Stars 2, it's the picture of Omar walking through the streets with the shotgun and the trench coat on, but it's got my face on it. You know what I'm saying? And the original Shooting Stars, all of the skits are Omar from The Wire. Like he was my favorite character, and you know, cats like, oh man, he's gay. Da 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 da. I was like, and what's your point? He was the most gangster individual on the whole show. So you mean to tell me just because he like dudes, you're not gonna show that man respect if he put his shotgun in your face? I bet you would. You know what I mean? So, you know what I mean? And just to know that that was an actual person, that character was built off an actual individual who was really that respected in the streets, despite his sexual orientation, despite whatever else. It's very fascinating to me because I know where I grew up at. They kind of looked at the gay dudes and was like, oh, he a sucker, or he, you know, he's soft or whatever because he like dudes. And I'm like, nah, bro, don't get it twisted. Like some of these cats will give you the business. So,
Cool. So E, or go ahead.
Yeah. Let's make sure you can hear me.
Yeah, you good. So E, outside of the music, man, what do you like to do for fun?
Man, I'm at a point in life where I just like to relax, man. Honestly,
ain't nothing wrong with that, man.
Yeah, I've done a lot. I did a lot at a young age. Like how Seven said, he jumped off the porch early. I could kind of say that too. So really, man, like I like to travel. You know what I'm saying? I like to travel. I usually make my music related, so that's kind of double joy out of that, double pleasure. You know what I'm saying? But I like to travel. I like to eat different food. You know, other than that, man, relax a little bit. Playing music. You'll catch me at a lounge with a good scotch and a cigar.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm that kind of relaxed now. You know what I'm saying? Or a food festival getting fat.
What's your favorite dish?
Oh, I'm in the kitchen.
Wait, what's that last part?
I'm in the kitchen. I cook a lot.
Oh, you cook. So yeah, what's your favorite dish?
Don't got one.
You ain't got one.
Nah. I'm not a favorites kind of person anyway. But like so far as like with dishes and shit, well I'll say it like this. Okay, I will say this. If you ever come around this way and I got a couple of days, I'll make you a jerk chicken that'll fuck you up.
Yo, I need that next time I come to LA, bro. I need that in my life. I love jerk chicken. Huh?
Let's do it.
Oh,
Let's do it.
Man. Oh, I love that. Yes.
I got you.
Dope.
I got you. I had a Jamaican lady try to trap me in my house one time over it. I had a cookout.
That's deep. That's deep, bro. That's
now,
deep.
Was deep is well, she might be watching, so I ain't gonna say too much. But
she might see this.
She was not small of stature. And she trapped me in my hallway.
Oh man.
I heard you made the chicken. I'm like, huh? She was like, I'm Jamaican. And that was better than my mother's chicken.
Dang.
Yeah, you smoked that.
Certified.
I had to kind of like get the little slide on, get around her, you know what I'm
saying? He hit her with the shimmy.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? With that hammer type. Got right back.
Yeah, oh, that's wild.
So, but yeah, that's it, man. I just like to chill out, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, I kind of base my life around music, so you'll find me relaxing in some kind of way dealing with that. Word up.
Cool. Ethemadassassin, 7 the Panther, YouTube. I recently released Carter A. Newton, The Field Report. I highly recommend all y'all check it out. I love it. And if I love it and you subscribe to my channel, you're probably gonna love it too. But man, appreciate y'all for coming through, man. This has been really good.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, thank you for having us, man, for sure. This is dope.
Absolutely. Yo, E, where can they find you?
Hey, I'm Ethemadassassin on all platforms, whether it be IG, Twitter, Facebook. You can just look up Ethemadassassin. If you know how to spell it, you'll find it. You know what I'm saying? Or just look up Bare Hands with a Z. I'm right there. Other than that, Ethemadassassin.com for everything me.
Cool.
7, where can they find you?
7 the Panther everywhere. Like even if I had to put an ad on my IG because my other page got deleted. So it's 7 the Panther 253. But if you type in 7 the Panther, it'll bring you. I'm the only 7 the Panther in existence. So 7 the Panther on everything. My name got shortened on Twitter to 7 the Panther, but it's still 7 the Panther. So yeah, and 7thepanther.bandcamp.com. That's my home base right now. Getting my website built as we speak. So yeah.
Cool. All right, guys. Make sure y'all check the description for the album and also to follow these guys. But that's it. We are out of here. Peace.
Peace.